Hey there, Drew Rebar, auditing Reno 911. Thanks for watching. Anyways, here to talk about a few things going on. I went to a little meeting last night and had a good interaction. Meeting was it was a political thing with Carson City Sheriff Kenny Furlong. And he and I had a good conversation, didn't talk about any of the legal stuff that we're going through, but good conversation. One of the people at this meeting, they asked me if I was running for election again, and I said yes, and they said I should not. And they said that they're going to vote for the guy that's been there forever. And they supported my opponent. And that got me to thinking, why am I running? What's the difference between me and my opponent? My opponent's running as a conservative Republican kind of guy, and I'm running as a Republican. I'm fiscally conservative, and socially, I believe the words in the Constitution, liberty, say that we should each all choose the way we want to live our lives with minimum government interference as possible. And I think that's the real difference between me and the people that are in there right now. And as I thought about it, I'm going, well, what's the difference between me and this other guy? He says he's conservative. Well, a few years ago, he voted to raise taxes, though. But the real difference between what I am and what I found that most of these people in government, that kind of set me up and going, easier to arrest people. So you're just really liking to exercise power. And not speaking in general about him, but speaking in general about the people that have worked in government all of their lives, and then they've gone on to become elected people. I wouldn't say servants, because I don't believe anybody is really serving the people that's in the government for the most part anyways. Excuse me. But you've got these people that are long-term government employees, and they're out there enforcing the laws against all of the citizenry, and they're collecting their paychecks paid for by the citizenry. And so you've got these people that like to enforce rules, enforce laws against people, and then they like the citizens to pay them for that. And then they go on from enforcing the laws to becoming one of the people to either write the laws in the legislature, or they become one of the judges, or they become the governor, or whatever part of elected office they become. Well, you spent your entire life enforcing laws, collecting your paycheck from the taxpayers, and then you want them to go on to write the laws, again, collecting your paycheck from the taxpayers. So throughout your entire life, a lot of these people, they've never been the working person. They've never gone out and gone to work every day and had to make money, because if you don't make money, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your taxes, you can't pay for the government that all of these government officials want you to pay for. And I think that's the real difference between what I'm running for and what a lot of other elected officials are in the government. I've never been in government, never had a desire to be in government. The only reason I'm trying to run for any elected office is, how do you make change? That's what I'm trying to do, is make some change. And it's kind of frustrating. So that's thought about that today, why I was running for office. And that's what I got. So let's see here. I'm just going to share some more stuff with everybody. Let's see if I can pull it on up. Let's see. Let's put this up here. There. Okay. So this right here, I think I've shared this in a few videos. I'm going to keep sharing it because I think this is really, really important. This is what the people at our center, and those are the people that run the LGBTQ in Reno, Nevada. They've got a nonprofit. Our center, along with the city of Reno, put together this banned list. That's what they called it when they banned me from going to a public event in a public street. And basically what they put together is a list of Republican candidates, the chairman of the Washoe County Republican Party, and party members that participate in partisan politics stuff. And so you've got this nonprofit, non-governmental organization that's collecting tax dollars. The city of Reno gave them $10,000. the RSCVA, which is the Reno Sparks Visitors Convention Visitors Authority. That's also a taxpayer-funded government. They gave them another $10,000. So this non-governmental organization got $20,000 from the government to hold this, what they tried to make into a private event. And then they used the Reno Police Department to enforce their bans. So here we have basically it's a political organization that's not paying any taxes, that's putting itself off as a nonprofit in order to enforce ban lists and push political agendas. Now, I think that's wrong. I don't know if you guys do, but if you do, well, let me know. It's it's kind of messed up that the government and a non-governmental organization would create a ban list for public events to prevent people that they disagree with from participating in the public events. It's kind of wrong. Again, just my opinion. You guys have your own. So that's what that list is for right there. Let's see, what are some comments we got going here? Nonprofits have been a massive scam for decades. Yep. It's good for the goose is good for the gander. And they're all criminals. Let's see, says Michael. And here I got mad about government regulations affecting my sleazy towing company, so now I raise a stink about queer folks at the library. I like this guy right here. When have I ever said anything about who people sleep with? Who gives a shit? Why do you care about who people sleep with? I certainly don't. Why do you make that the issue? I really wonder why people like this guy right here, this asshole, makes it about being queer. If you want to go screw some other guy and you're a guy, well, that ain't my problem. That's your problem. Go get AIDS or whatever you want to get. If you're butch women and you like other women, well, God, I love women too. Who cares? Unless you're sleeping with somebody, who gives a shit? I've never said anything about being queer. And as far as the library goes, that's kind of like going to Pride. Why do the queer people in their little nonprofit governmental organization that is collecting tax dollars get to take over the public library and lock me out, along with hundreds of other people that they locked out of the public libraries? Why do my tax dollars have to pay for your sexual agenda, especially locking children in to libraries? Why are you trying to groom children? So what's up with this Ender dude? Do you like kids, or you like part of, you know what NAMBLA used to be? Is that really what is going on here? For those that you don't remember that aren't my age, there used to be this group called NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association. And what the group is all about is adults sleeping with children. And here what I see is these psychos. You got to be mentally ill. I mean, because, hell, making babies is fun, but it takes a man and a woman to make a baby. But if you want to be queer, go be queer with adults. Why do you want to bring kids into it? So maybe the government should really start looking at these people that are trying to get children sexualized. It's bullshit. This is the shit that's got to change. Because these people, well, let me see if I can pull something else up here. These people that are putting on this crap, let's talk about this. Where's Nander? There's Nander. Yeah, that guy. Following right along, Drew. Thanks, Dave's channel. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, Nander, I think the government should come look at your ass instead of me being on a banned list with some other people that don't think adults that have sexual issues, obviously, because what else is this LGBTQ thing all about other than who you sleep with? What is this group that wants to put forward sexual agendas? Why are they doing it with children? That's bullshit. It's got to stop. Kids need to be kids for as long as they can. Keep that innocence, because my God, that's precious. Let's see here. What other comments we got to talk about here? Nonprofits have been a massive scam for decades in the USA. Yeah, this Our Center crap just proves it. Just proves it. Oh, let's see here. What else can I find to share with you that I've got that's kind of interesting? Let me look in my stuff here. Give me just a second. Oh, here we go. I think I know who to share with you. So anyways, there it is. So I found this person. This is Interim Vice President Yvonne Allen of Truckee Meadows Community College. She just got a promotion, by the way, everybody. But she's evidently, I didn't know this because until I started digging into it, but evidently she's, let me show you another file here, how I found out about her, because I was reading through Facebook stuff here the other day, and that's how I found this person. Woman, we'll call her a woman. So I found this post on Facebook from Yvonne Allen, and she said, hi, this is before the whole Pride event happened and I got kicked out. A couple of things. Pride is a closed ticketed event. And guess why they made it a closed ticketed event? By the way, they're a 501c3 corporation, nonprofit, that's collecting tax dollars to make a closed event so that they can have leverage against who they deem as anti-LGBTQ. Now, I'm on their list, and I don't think I'm anti-LGBTQ. I just don't give a shit. Again, just to be really blunt, go sleep with who you want. Ain't none of my business, ain't none of my affair, ain't the government's affair especially. Keep the government out of your bedroom. Go do all the kinky shit you want. But the whole goal, according to Yvonne Allen, who works for Truckee Meadows Community College, in other words, remember how I was talking about these taxpayer-funded people that live their whole lives collecting the taxes and enforcing the laws against us? So she's a vice president for a community college. She lives her life on the taxpayer's dime. Let's go see what else we can find out about Yvonne Allen. Here's another image from her. Again, from her Facebook page. Let's see what she does on her, this stuff right here. Let's pull this up. Look, she studied at the University of Michigan. She was in the class of 2020. New Leadership Academy. Yeah, good stuff there. American Association of Hispanics. National, and the American Association of Hispanics in Higher Education. She don't look Hispanic to me. Maybe I'm just being racist. I don't know. I've been accused of being racist before. Last name is Allen, Yvonne. I don't know. Maybe we got some cultural appropriation going here by Yvonne Allen. Let's go back to this here. And she's studying leading for equity, diversity, and inclusion in higher education at the University of Michigan. And she got her certificate, class of 2020. So she is a DE, he, she, it, whatever. We don't know its pronouns yet. I wouldn't want to disrespect your fucking pronouns. Sorry for cussing. But what the whole, I don't get it. You're either born with a penis, or you're born with a vagina, or you had a birth defect. You got three options there. But you're either a man or you're a woman. The rest is just all your imagination. Yeah, let's see what else we can find out about her. So that's her education there. And let's bring up some more information if we got it here. Okay, so that's what she did for her education. Let's see what about her work history she put on Facebook. And I think she's taken all this down. I did these screenshots when I first found them because I didn't want to lose them. Up, there we go. Her work history. Look, she works for the city of Reno too. Not only is she a TMCC employee, she's also the vice chair at the city of Reno government on the Civil Service Commission. So Yvonne Allen, who says that the LGBTQ people are trying to lock out people they don't like. Again, here's the people they don't like. They had a whole list of us, 6 of us, all Republicans, candidates. Here, this guy right here, the chairman of the party in Washoe County, his name is Bruce Parks. Here's Victoria Meyer, right below Bruce Parks on their ban list, and she was a candidate for school board, and obviously I was a candidate. I'm a candidate for assembly. And the other people, Cliff Nellis, he's a street preacher, and Scott Meyer, that's Victoria Meyer's husband, and Nichelle Hull, she's just an awesome woman. Just believes in trying to do the right thing, doesn't believe kids should be sexualized. So that's what I first found out about this LGBTQ thing. And that they had a banned list was this Yvonne Allen made this post. And then obviously I went down to the event and they kicked me out because, well, I'm on the list. You can't let the guy on the list in a public event, especially paid for with tax dollars. And just to prove my point, how do I know they're paid with tax dollars? Let me bring up another screen here for you. Because if you go to the Our Center Reno website, image file, where did we go here? Which one was it? It's this one right here. If you go to, sorry, dogs are barking there. But if you go to the Our Center website and who paid for Pride 2025, they've got this page right here. And these people paid a minimum of $10,000 to Our Center for Pride. Renown Health, the local hospitals, insurance company, whatever the hell. So everybody's paying these people because, hell, you got to pay for your insurance. Breakthrough Beverage, so a beverage company, you're buying your beverages from these people. You've got the Reno Tahoe Visit Tahoe.com. And you say, what the hell is that? Well, that's what I call the RSCVA is what they're called here locally, the Reno Sparks Visitor Convention or Authority or whatever the hell. And they're funded with tax dollars to bring tourists into the area. And so I guess they need to give these Our Center people 10 grand to bring more people in to come to the Pride Parade. But I'm a local and I pay the taxes that pay this SCVA, and I can't go to the Pride Parade, but the tourists can because they're not on the list. And then obviously you've got the city of Reno right there. So $20,000 right there on this page from government. And then what's this other thing right here down at the bottom here is the ASUN, which is the, I think the Associated Students of University of Nevada or something like that. So anyways, it's a student body association paid for by the students that are paying their dues to the student association. And then of course you've got Lithia Motors. Lithia Motors gave 10 grand for this Pride Parade stuff. So these are the people that are supporting Pride. If you want to keep supporting the Pride agenda, LGBTQ agenda, and excluding anybody that disagrees with them, these are the people you want to give your money to. If you don't want to support the Pride agenda and just believes everybody should be equal, well, don't give money to these people, except for the tax money. You gotta, you can't. Well, you got to pay your taxes, otherwise the government's going to come and mess with you. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm pissing some people off. Let's scroll up here. Let's see what we've got. Got what's good for the girl. I shared that one with you. Claw, they lock other gay people out. Claw, which gay people? Sick individuals. Oh no, says Claw. I'll never get elected talking like that. How am I talking? You don't like my cussing? Too bad. See, the whole thing about me being a politician, I never wanted to be a politician. I'm doing it reluctantly just because I want to make change. Maybe I'll get elected, maybe I won't. Either way, I'm just trying to put pressure on the government. One way or the other. If enough people want me in the seat, I'll be in the seat. If enough people don't want me to be in the seat, I won't be in the seat. But that doesn't change my views. So either vote for me if you like me. If you don't like me, don't vote for me. Most of you probably don't live in Assembly District 40 in Nevada. If you live in Virginia City, Story County, Carson City, or Southeast Washoe County, Reno, well, those are the people that can vote for me. Here's what I know about the people that live in this area. You've got a slight majority of Republicans over Democrats, but you've got a real majority of people that are just nonpartisan right down the middle. I think I'm right down the middle where I think we all just want to be left alone to be living in peace. If you want to go hang out with your friends, go hang out with your friends. Choose who you want to hang out with. If you don't want to hang out with me, cool. If you do want to hang out with me, cool. But I think most of us just want to be left alone to live our lives, to take care of our families. And that's the real problem, is government has become so big that it's not leaving the majority of people alone. A lot of people are getting caught up in the bullshit regulations and rules and the things that are making their lives harder. So if you're just going to keep doing things to make lives harder, why do you want that kind of government? So if I were to get elected, I would simply want to make fewer regulations and fewer rules so it can make housing cheaper, make it easier for people to live. Because what I see right now with my children's generation, my children are just in their early 20s now, is they want to buy houses, they want to have life. And they're going, how can I buy a house? How can I do any of this crap? The opportunities for people have gone, they're disappeared. And we're focused on this bullshit LGBTQ agenda when most people are not LGBTQ. Most people don't care who everybody else sleeps with. They just want to have their life. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong again. Let's see what else we got here. Just another scammy event. Exactly. Most people don't go to it. It's these people with this political agenda. Who gives a shit again with who people sleep with? Isn't he a board member of that Our Center illegal NPO? Let's see. I think you're talking about. Let's go back. Did I get rid of her picture? I think I got rid of her picture. Let me bring up another picture of this Yvonne person. Let's bring up another picture of Yvonne. Where did Yvonne go? Here's Yvonne's picture. We'll bring this one up. So Yvonne is not a board member as far as I know, but Yvonne's partner, as I was looking at he, she, their, they, them, whatever profile, their fiance, I don't know, whatever you want to call him, I don't care, was a vice president of Our Center. So there's a direct relationship with Ms. Allen. Or do you say MX? I don't know. It's so confusing nowadays. There's a relationship there. But Yvonne Allen was not a board member. See, you do care, you wouldn't talk like you just did. How did I just talk? If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I lost last time. Still going this time. Care about is making change. And here's what I do know. I, along with a lot of other people, it wasn't just me, we got the Drag Queen Story Hour canceled. I made some change. Making these videos made some change. Again, a lot of other people helped. County Manager Brown of Washoe County. He's no longer the county manager. He's all gone. I call that making some change. Library Director Jeff Scott. Yeah, that guy trespassed me, pushed me out. He hated me. He doesn't have a job anymore either. He's gone. Assistant Library Director Stacy McKenzie. Gone. So I don't care if I get elected. It'd be nice. Vote for me if you want me there. But I'd much rather spend time with my family, taking care of my life, than spend time in those stupid meetings, listening to the droning of people talking about just things that bore the heck out of me. If you've ever been to these meetings, they're boring as hell. You sit there for hours on end, and most of it's just boring platitudes. There's not much action. I'd rather not spend my time going to these county meetings, city meetings, state meetings, all the different meetings that I go to, and listen to all the crap you have to know in order to make any change. So, yeah, sayers of nay. Hey, God bless you, man, or woman, or whoever the hell you are. But if you want a bigger government in your life and you want government to be involved in your life, just keep going the way you're going, because one day you're the star, you're the LGBTQ special people. And, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, somebody else will get in there and change it around. I'd rather just have it so you got your life, I got my life, and nobody messes with anybody, especially from the government. We should all just be able to live in peace with each other. Isn't that really what America's about? Being the big old melting pot and accepting everybody else? Again, I don't care who you sleep with. Stop spreading hate. Sayers of nay just really doesn't like me, do you? What have I said that's hateful? Type in there and tell me what I've said that's hateful. I dare you. What have been my hateful words? I mean, you LGBTQ people are the ones that sent some people to follow me down to the library meeting and put a camera in my face to show me how it felt. I think that's what they said in there. I don't know if I published that part or not. I really didn't care. I just thought that was kind of stupid to do. I mean, just go put your camera up, record the thing, but don't make a scene out of everything. I just sit there quietly and record. That's kind of the difference for you people. Yep, there you go. Well, I'm going to say something here. Okay, so it's the dregs of the gay community that end up speaking for the rest of it. I don't think it's just the gay community. I think it's the dregs of any community. The ones that are just really trying to push their agenda, and it's just, instead of just living their lives, being happy and being surrounded by people they like, and just leaving people alone that you don't like. If you don't like them, leave them alone. People didn't like Charlie Kirk. They should have just left him alone. I find that really sad what happened to that man. He's out there doing his thing, speaking. Just leave people alone you don't like. You don't need to take action against people you don't like. Be peaceful. Live your life. If you live your life and leave everybody else alone, everybody's probably going to leave you alone. Let's go to the next one here. But yeah, I agree. The dregs are what generally, the minority is what speaks for the majority, and the minority doesn't generally give the opinion of the majority, because the majority, I think, for the most part, again, wants to be left alone. Yeah. I don't want to know what imaginary gender anyone is, too. I agree with that. I don't care what gender you are. If you want to dress like whatever you want to dress like, you know, get up dressed in your furry costume, just leave me alone. Maybe you agree with that. It's your liberty to go dress up in your furry costume. Just don't push your furry costume shit on me. What do we got next here? Comments are kind of interesting here. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, no, like I said, I don't take all the credit for that at all. The only thing that I did was make videos and people saw it. And there were a lot of people that were protesting the drag thing long before I showed up with a camera. Bruce Parks, the chairman of the Washoe County Central Committee, all those other people on that list that were Republicans were going to it, trying to find out, were we spending tax dollar money on it? And they did a lot more than I did, I think. I just showed up with a camera and people watched the videos that I put out. That's all that I did. And I stood in the door and then they shut the door on me and they blamed me for that. But there were hundreds, there were thousands of people that were against this drag queen story hour. I think that was one of the reasons that the Washoe County initiative failed to give the library more tax dollars again, because we're just tired of seeing the tax dollars usurped by special interest groups. The tax dollars should benefit everybody in the society, not just certain special interest groups. Everybody was a large majority of people that knew about what was going on with the drag queen stories hours, I believe, were against it. My opinion. And I think the majority of the people, because what I got that I know about this is I got, I think, about 40,000 pages of public records from Washoe County. And there was email after email after email after email from the public to the county commissioners, to the library board, saying, why are you doing this? So it wasn't just me. It's many, many people are against this stuff. Let's see what's next here. You don't have to tell me I watched it from the very beginning. Well, again, dude, or dudette, whatever you are. Tell me what my exact words were that are hateful. I try not to be hateful. I'm just there to show what the government's doing. So the whole thing with me going into this LGBTQ space, I wouldn't have been involved with them at all if they hadn't taken over our libraries. My whole thing is finding corrupt government. I take my camera into corrupt government buildings and see what happens. And I just happened to stumble across this library that's having this LGBTQ drag queen hour. And if they'd let me in and record it and just left me alone, we wouldn't be here. Because if they just let the public into their drag queen stories hours, if they'd let the homeless people in, if they'd let the short people in, the tall people in, whatever color skin you want to, whatever ethnic origin, blah, 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 religion, if they just let handicapped people, if they'd let everybody in the public library to see their drag queen story hour, the public probably wouldn't have cared. If they just left the libraries open to the public. And that's the problem they had. It's kind of the same problem they're going to have with this closing the street down to these certain people that aren't allowed there. So say, Renee, you've watched me from the beginning. I challenge you, find any one of my videos where I've said something hateful to somebody other than just trying to ask questions. See, I'm just asking you a question now, giving you a challenge. Show me the words. All my stuff's documented because I don't care who you sleep with. Don't care about your religion. Don't care about your special diets. Don't care nothing about it. Ain't my gig. I got my own problems in life to worry about. You worry about you, I'll worry about me. And let's keep the government out of all of it. That's the real issue. Government's too big. Government's too much into everybody's world. We're supposed to have liberty, is what the Constitution says. What's liberty? Freedom to do what you want, freedom to be who you want. But yet everything you do in the world is licensed by the government, or there's some type of fee by the government. So if you want to go sell cars, you need a license. If you want to go tend bar in Nevada, you need a license. If you want to do anything in Nevada, you need a license. Just about any type of job, you gotta have a license. It's the hate that I don't like. Where's my hate again? I don't hate anybody. I just don't care. The only thing I hate is corrupt government. That's all that I hate. Dissent is not hate. Truth. I don't agree. So what you're saying, Mr. Sayers of Nay, is if I don't agree with you and you don't agree with me, I must be hateful. That makes me think about the Charlie Kirk thing, and that's just really, I'm just really sad about that still. And what his killer said was his killer found Charlie Kirk to be so hateful that this other man needed to kill him. Who was really hateful? The guy that's getting out there trying to have dialogue with other people and communicate in public universities, taxpayer-funded universities, and talk to young people and just challenge people on their thought. He was hateful, or was the man that took a rifle onto a rooftop and shot him in the neck and killed him and murdered him? Who was filled with hate? Who is filled with hate? I already scrolled up. What do you got to say there? What did I miss? Hi, thank you. I appreciate it. Scroll here, Sarah May, tell me to scroll up. I did that. Let's see here. What did you literally tell me? 100% support him. Yeah. Let's see. Pennsylvania. Yep. Let's vote them all out. If you live local, let's vote everybody out. If you vote me in, vote me out too. So I shouldn't be there if I'm there for more than a couple of years. The whole entrenched bureaucracy is just a bunch of shit. Yeah, where's the vintage video? That guy, he was good the other morning. Not all gays are trans. Did I ever say all gays are trans? Hell, I've got gay uncles. Just because you're gay, that doesn't mean the trans thing is your thing. That's a whole different. You're grouping people together. I've never said all gays are trans. So let me go to this one here for a second. So in my lifetime, I've run a business for 20 years, and I run equipment, and it's a very masculine, male-dominated field. Running trucks, running equipment, flipping trucks over, moving cars, automotive, very masculine business. And I've tried to hire women to run my equipment. And over 20 years, the interesting thing is I've hired more transsexual people to work in my business, to run my equipment, than I've been able to hire men. Just fact of life. If you're a woman, you want a job, call me up and you come run my equipment. Give you a chance. If you're a man, you want a job, come run my equipment, I'll give you a chance. But on the other hand, I'm trying to sell the business, so it's for sale. At the same time, if you want to buy the business, come on down. I'll sell it to you. I don't think gender really matters as far as I'm concerned in hiring or whatever, but I just find it interesting to run my equipment. The men are good at that. The male transsexuals, the females, are very good at that. The women, what I found running my office, women are much better in my office than men are. I've tried to hire men to be in my office. After 20 years of hiring people, and men are better at certain things than women are. We each have our own skill sets. Just like every human being differs and is unique, but there's a distinct difference between male and female. I'm a 6'3" tall, 250-pound man. There aren't a whole lot of women like that, but there are a lot more men like that than women. On the other hand, there are a lot more 5-foot women than there are men. Just physical differences. If you can't see that, you're stupid. Hey, naysayer, did I just say something mean? Was that hateful? I just called you stupid if you can't see the difference between men and women. Let's see here. Let me make sure. Yep, we already did that one. Let's go down here. What else we got to have in here? Housing here is ridiculous. Yes, it's stupid. It's stupid. For years in Reno, Nevada, you could get a 3-bedroom house, single family house for $800 a month, $1,200 a month for years. And then, Obama became president. They stopped building houses. Trump became president, and everybody started moving, migrating. Then they opened all the borders and letting in 24 million. I think that's the number they're quoting these days. You let in 24 million people into the country. Where are they all going to go to live? And you wonder where the housing shortage came from. Perhaps if we got rid of all of the illegal aliens that are in this country, housing prices might go down. If we made it easier for young people to buy houses, housing prices might go down. If interest rates went down, that might make it easier for people to buy houses again. If we got rid of a lot of the building codes, from what I've researched, there's about $100,000 in fees that the government charges to build a single family house. $100,000 were given to the government to build a house for all the permits and all the inspections and all that crap. Why do we need to spend $100,000 in fees to the government people, government employees, to build a house? Could that have something to do with it? So, I mean, if you think about it, if a house is $500,000, $500,000, and $100,000 of that is fees from the government, that's 20% of the price. If we had a 20% off sale in housing, would that make a difference for people? I think so. If we kicked out all the illegal aliens that are living in the houses right now and opened up the housing market, would that make a difference? Everybody says these huge corporations are buying houses too. That's probably part of it too. But there's a lot of problems with what the government's done to we the people that are the citizens of this country. That's what we need to change. Let's see what else we got. Let's scroll down here. First time, glad those officers and farmers market people were educated. Yep. That's all that I'm about, is how do you find the corrupt government? Go to a public park and put up a camera and see what happens. Yeah. You go to the library. I met a friend of mine through that. A guy contacted me, made a new friend because of the library. I went to the library. They treated me poorly. This guy went to the library during one of the fires trying to get some service, because, you know, they're supposed to go to the library to get service during the fires. And they treated him like crap, and they put him on their, they gave him a 1-year restriction from using their libraries too, or some such bullshit, just because they didn't want to help him. So yeah, it's more than just me. Like I said, the people in the library, they're part of this LGBTQ thing. A lot of them belong to the Our Center Club, and they think that the library is theirs and they don't really need to help anybody else because they're the special people and they deserve special rights above everybody else. And I think everybody deserves the same rights. What's sad about the whole Charlie Kirk situation is his first topic, which they were just starting to discuss, is the rise in political violence, and was shot right as it was starting. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Taxpayer dollars support it. We all get to go to it. It's not a private event. Open to everyone. Yep. The libraries in Washoe County cater the homeless people. If you go into especially the downtown library in Reno, it's a beautiful building. It's awesome. If you haven't seen my library videos, especially the very first one I did when I went in, before all the homeless were in there, it's a beautiful building. It's cool, bright lights, plants everywhere. They got little ponds. It's an awesome public building. But they treat people like shit. If you're just a normal person, if you're a homeless person or LGBTQ, you're welcome. But most of the other people are not. Corrupt NPOs, yep. Corrupt nonprofits. I'm not seeing it. Well, write it again. Paste it down below. I'm going down. I lose track when I go up. Where was I? Too much scrolling around. I can't keep track of where I am here. It's a tiny, incestuous community in Reno. Yeah, but why put down people just not very... Who am I putting down? I'm putting down the people that kicked me out of Pride. I'm putting down the people that made a political banned list that had me on it to prevent me from going. Yeah, I'm putting down Yvonne Allen. I'm putting down Stacy Spain, the director of Our Center. I'm putting down all these people that are involved in using my tax dollars to benefit themselves personally and keep me from public events. They're piles of crap. I'm putting them down. Wouldn't you put down people that kept you out of public events? Wouldn't you put people down that used your tax dollars against you? You think that's right? If you don't want people to put you down, don't use public money. If you don't want people to put you down, don't block people out of public events. If you don't want to be called out for bad actions, don't do bad actions. I challenge you to find a bad action that I've done where I've tried to keep somebody out of a public event. You can't come to my house. It's private. You can go sit on the curb and film me if you want to. Have a good time. I wouldn't recommend it. We might have a bunch of cameras filming you back. You can go anywhere in public you want and do what you want. Nobody else gets to prevent you from doing things in public. Well, unless you're, of course, of me. Then the LGBTQ Our Center people do, along with the city of Reno. Got your vote. Thank you. Well, hopefully you live in Assembly District 40. Oh, and tell all your friends that live out here, vote for me if they like these ideas. Don't vote for me if they don't. Common sense again. You got two choices on the conservative side. You got me, and then you got my opponent that's been there forever. He raises taxes. He just kind of does stuff. He doesn't really try to change the system because he's been part of the system for his, 60, 70 years that he's been alive. Here, let's see. Yep, tiny incestuous community. Greetings from Pensacola. You watched every. Sorry, I'm just going down the list again. Like I said, I get confused when I get too far up for sayer of nay. See, sayer of nay, I'm trying to listen to you and follow you. So hopefully you've got it down here. You copied and pasted it down below so I get to what I did wrong. Really like to see what I did wrong. I literally told you. But it was super stupid also. Coward. Yep. Yep, we did that one. Did that one. Did Charlie Kirk. Made me sad. Little they seemed that we talked about that. Odd thing is Charlie Kirk would have put the microphone in the hands of the guy who shot him. Yeah, what it's all about. Why not just have civil discussions and we can either agree or disagree or come to some conclusion together? And if you can't agree, you just walk away from each other and go do whatever makes you happy in your life. Yeah, a differing of opinions is not hate. Yep, let's pray for us. Trans did great running. Damn right. I had one really cool person, especially this person that I'm thinking of. This person was super mechanical, did an awesome job, did what they said, showed up, very conscientious, super cool human being. I mean, let's be honest. It was a dude dressed up like a girl that looked like a dude. So male to female. And I can't say anything bad about him. I can only say good. I was impressed. Cool human being. Whatever he wanted to do on his off time, cool. Didn't get to wear a dress, running my equipment, had to wear safety equipment, look like, wore his makeup. I was cool with that. Yeah. Whatever. Do your thing. Yep. Government is a mafia. Government is just the largest corporation around. So everybody on the Democrat side says, tax the rich, tax the rich. Well, you want to know who the real rich is? The government. So they just want to take more money from the rich so that they can get it themselves. Keep the government away from everybody's money. The rich people will try to take care of everybody else if you give them a chance. Some of them will anyways. Some of them won't. Bill Gates is giving away a lot of his money. I don't agree with him politically, but he's giving it away. Carnegie gave away a lot of his money. A lot of these rich people give away a lot of their money because they don't want to give it to their kids. They put it in these investments, these endowments, and they try to do things that benefit society long term. Whether you agree with how they're doing it, well, maybe you're not getting their money and other people are. That's how I see it. If you're just not getting their money, well, you're probably upset about it because you wanted their money. But we don't need to take away all of their money to give it to the government so the government can give it to corrupt bureaucrats that sit there and use the money as a tool against the populace that the government is supposed to serve. Yep, 2008. I agree. That's when it all started going downhill. George Bush was president. Didn't like that guy's president. He sucked. His predecessor sucked. I don't care if he was Republican or Democrat. They've all sucked. All these bureaucrats, these lifetime politician people, they're the ones that have been stealing all the money from the people, I think. They live their life on the political dole, and then they get in there, and then they just keep fixing it so that they get more and more of the money. Hey, Dale. Oh, I've had a couple death threats. Yep, one or two here and there. Charlie Kirk would have given him the mic. Yep. Keep standing up for your rights. No, keep commenting. I'm good reading the comments. I like reading the comments. Just tell me what I did that's hateful. You said I'm hateful, didn't you? What have I said that's mean to people? Other than thinking they're piles of garbage because they're taking my tax dollars and using it for their own personal benefit. What's hateful about that? Vote for change. That's all I'm about. How am I lumping everybody into the same? I don't know. You're insanity here. Anyways, I wanted to share some other stuff with everybody here. So let's see what this is. So, what we have here. So anybody that wants to use my videos of the library or anything that's been going on, I'm going to give you free use to it. Take my videos, share them all around. Because guess what the government's trying to do? The people for our center have filed for a restraining order against me. They want me to remove all my videos. And it looks like the Washoe County government's wanting me to remove my videos too. And so here's a copy of the restraining order. I haven't read any of this yet. So I've got to start going through this. So you're seeing it with me for the first time here. Jeff Scott, so it lists all the people there. It says I've gone on a social media campaign to attack the credibility of defense counsel. Well, don't lie about me. That's the only time I'm going to attack your credibility is if you're a lying sack of crap. Don't lie and you got no problems. If you lie, since I record everything and I try to document everything, I'm probably going to find out your lie. So they're saying that I'm on a social media campaign to attack the credibility of defense counsels. He recently used obscene language to a library board of trustees. Guess what? Obscene language is protected speech. I can use exclamatory language, exclamation, to make a point. I can say the F word. I can say the S word. Want to hear me say them? I cuss a lot. I try not to cuss so much in my videos, but sometimes I pull down. Yeah, I've cussed in front of the library board. I've cussed in front of the county commission. It's free speech. The Supreme Court of the United States has put on time, place, and manner restrictions. So here's how I look at time, place, and manner. So if you go to a public meeting and it's public comment and you're the public, and each person in the public, either depending on the meeting, has a 2-minute or a 3-minute time limit for their free speech. It's my 3 minutes, your 3 minutes to make your comment, to say what you want to say. If you want to get up there and crow like a rooster, you can crow like a rooster. If you just want to sit up there and cuss, you can cuss. If you want to make some valid points, you can make some valid points. The time limit, the 3 minutes, that's your time. So time, place, and manner. Your 3 minutes, place, public comment, right at the public lectern, making public comment. Manner. The government does not get to restrict your speech in any way. They can put reasonable, very narrow speech restrictions in place that do not affect the content of your speech. Turn around, address somebody. The content of your speech is protected. As long as you are not threatening somebody or inciting violence. You don't get to hurt other people physically by telling somebody else to harm somebody. You don't get to threaten somebody. You don't get to make, that you're going to assassinate somebody or hurt somebody or tell somebody else to hurt somebody or yell fire in the crowded auditorium. Other than that, free speech is fair game. If I want to talk about the city attorney Carl Hall over at Reno, who I think's incompetent, or just maybe he's, I don't know if the guy drinks or what he does, but doesn't seem to give a crap. If I want to say anything about anybody, I can. Just like you can say anything about anybody, you can too. Say something about me. Cool. Go for it. So anyways, let's keep going through this whole thing. He's gone uninvited to the workplace of some of our Build Our Center representatives. Indeed, I did. I went to Truckee Meadows Community College to get public records. I went to the University of Nevada, Reno to get public records. All of these things are lawful things to do. If you work for the government and I think you're breaking the law, I might come to wherever it is you work and request public records about you. Don't get paid with tax dollars to take away the taxpayers' rights. If you work for the government, you're subject to all that stuff. Let's see here. So I'm admitting what I did here. I wasn't invited. You don't need to be invited to go do a public records request. Witnesses believe he was president of their counsel's office. Yeah. They said that I was stalking their office. They put this in affidavits to the court. But you know what? We all have GPS on our phones. We got cameras in our cars. Our computers track us. Our cars track us. Our phones track us. They shouldn't have lied because I got the GPS information as to where I was at. I was never at these people's offices. Why would I go to a private attorney's office? What's interesting there? I've been there. I went there to go give them, serve them documents. And I recorded the whole thing. If you want to see my maybe I'll post those recordings too. I save all my recordings, so I've got copies of all this crap. Okay, what else do we got here? Disturbingly, he posted details on YouTube regarding the name and workplace of the fiance for one of those individuals. Oh my gosh, you put information on Facebook and I found out who you were after you said something like keeping me out of public events. And then I figured out how you were related to our center through this fiance of yours. Yeah, I put it up. You keep me out of a public event and I'm going to find your public information in your social media pages and I might share it. Free speech. If you don't want anybody to know something about you, don't make it public information on social media. We all have it. Go look at my shit. I don't give a crap. It is what it is. Don't work hand in glove with my tax dollars. Again, I'm upset because you kicked me out of a public event. You interfered with my political campaign. You stopped me from gathering information and posting it on social media as a member of media so that people can look at it and decide whether or not they want to vote for me or whether or not they just want to watch my videos because there's interesting public information on my videos. It's all about public information. So it's disturbing. His tactics deter the fair administration of this case, oppresses library operations, and harasses the individuals involved. My God. They don't want me to get public records. They think that's harassing. How is it harassing to do a lawful activity? And if I walk into your office and you just take my records request, I'll walk right away and there's nothing even to worry about. You just give me the information. I won't stay there. Now, if you tell me to leave and issue me unlawful orders and try to take my rights away, I'm going to assert my constitutional rights. You as a government employee don't get to take my constitutional rights away or my right to get public records. As a member of media, a member of press, so I can share the public records with everybody else through YouTube or Facebook or whatever else. What other crap do they have here to say? Additionally, Rebar has expressed alarming beliefs that county defendants fear Rebar will use to justify continued escalating harassment, stalking, and possibly physical violence. The most dangerous weapon I ever bring out of the house with me is my camera, it seems. Physical violence? I've been arrested and hotboxed. I didn't try to commit violence against anybody. Gone to the public libraries, have the doors shoved on my body, closed by a librarian. I didn't use violence, didn't even grab the door or try to do anything. I've been stalked by our center, people going to public meetings, having cameras literally within a foot of my face. I just ignored them. You guys watch my videos, go watch them if you haven't. I've never done anything violent. I'd never been arrested in my life until I took a camera out and started recording the government. This is just crazy. He has referred to a political hit list. No, it's not a political hit list. It's the banned list. That's what the people at our center called it. It was their banned list. That's the word they use. Now they're changing the words, which he believes he is on. I believe I'm on it. I don't know if I'm on the list or not. What do you think? Am I on the list? Could be on the list. Could be on the list. It's possible. Let's go back to reading this stuff. County defendants have no knowledge or involvement with any creation of such a list, yet Rebar continues to communicate with defense counsel and the LBOT about it. Yeah, I'm out there asking questions about it. You banned me from a public event just to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to beat a dead horse. You don't get to ban anybody from public events. Last week informed the LBOT believes people are killing some conservatives. Well, did Charlie Kirk, is he still with us? Whoop, let's see. And it's happening in our community. Yeah, you banned me. You've got this whole list of people you banned. It is happening in our community. Commenters. Oh no, now she's going after you people watching these videos and commenting. So be careful what you say because the government attorneys are watching you. Lindsay Liddell is this gal's name. She works for Washoe County. She's a government employee. She works for you. She works for me, the taxpayers. And she doesn't like our comments. Let's read what she says here. Unless you, like I said, I'm just reading this for the first time. That's why I'm taking all this time with it. YouTubers refers presumably the firearms provision of the Second Amendment one as a fix for Rebar's grievances. I've never committed violence. I've never said violence. I do believe in the 2A because constitutional right to defend yourself against a corrupt government. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm peaceful. I think that the public, the people that I share this information with, like all the people that wrote emails to the library and helped in getting the drag queen thing shut down, well, keep writing your emails. These government people are lazy. They don't want to deal with the emails. They don't want to see it because if they see it, then they've got to do their jobs. They just don't want to do their jobs. It seems to be what it is to me. Commenters want, okay, so fix grievances. So yeah, the government's reading all your stuff here. There is serious concern for the safety and well-being of the individuals involved in this case and concern that Rebar's behavior will continue to escalate without court intervention. Well, I'm in front of the courts. The court can intervene and solve the problem. Let's look at the evidence. Did our center conspire with Washoe County? Well, yeah, they had their Rainbow Brigade out there beating up on old women and pushing people out of libraries. Did they conspire with the city of Reno for a ban list and ban me from a public event? Stop conspiring. Yeah, we're in front of the court to solve the problem. And now you're saying you're trying to flip the script. That's the typical, I think, liberal thing to do is let's flip the script and saying this guy is violent. This guy's doing all this crap when you're the ones pushing me out. If you don't push me out, you don't need to flip the script. And there's never any violence because I was never violent. The only ones that have been violent are the lefties, the LGBTQ people locking shit down, keeping conservative people out, or let's just call us normal people. I don't think I'm that conservative in a lot of ways. Again, you go do you, I'll do me. I don't think that's conservative view. I think that's pretty libertarian view. County defendants request the court use its inherent power to enjoin the harassment and intimidation that is developed in this case. In addition to the relief that Build Our Center requests, county defendants respectfully request the following restraining order to address county defendants and its councils. Let's see here. Rebar should be enjoined and restrained and prohibited from physically approaching, not to come within 600 feet, speaking with or sending any type of written communication, including any on social. Again, they want to shut this down. So everybody, if you can copy this video, copy it, save it, spread it around. If you just share it and I shut it down, if the court makes me remove it and you've just shared it, then it disappears. So if you can download a copy and share it, if you want me to email you a copy, I'll email you a copy and then you share it on your channels. Court can't order you what to do, but I'm subject to them because I filed a lawsuit. Rebar should be enjoined and restrained from prohibited from physically approaching, not to come within 600 feet of county defendants counsel. How do I know where they are within 600 feet? Rebar should be enjoined for restraint, prohibited from physically entering Washoe County District Attorney's Office, 1 South Sierra Street. That's where the courthouse is. I can't go to the courthouse anymore. They want to keep me out of the courthouse. While attending a library board of trustees meeting, whether before, during, after, Rebar shall not harass, threaten, or intimidate. If you watched my video, I didn't threaten, harass, or intimidate anybody. I simply recorded, and the people that were putting the camera in my face were in a public forum, just like I was in a public forum, and I told them that they should keep recording, and I just simply followed them outside in the public parking lot where we were all going anyways. They didn't want me to gather public information, so I can get more public records. All of our license plates are public records, public information, and you're the ones that said you banned me, so that the government doesn't want me to be able to find out the people that were involved with the banning. So here they are just trying to cover up the bullshit. Rebar shall not direct any public records request to county defendants, counsel, and instead must use Washoe County online. The revised statute says, so I'm not supposed to include them in my public records requests. You're government employees. You're the person involved with this. Shouldn't you know, if you're the counsel, what questions I'm asking, what information I'm getting, so you can expeditiously solve the problem and resolve the case? But all that these pieces of shit attorneys want to do, yeah, I call them piece of shit attorneys, is they want to extend the case. They want to smear me. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. So they don't want me to get public records from them. Rebar should be enjoined, restrained, and prohibited from continuing to post content from or regarding this case. They don't want you guys to see these public court records. They don't want me to share the public court records with you. So again, if you believe in freedom of speech, share the public court records. These are all public records. They don't want public records shared. They want to keep the public stupid so that they can keep stealing our money and keep taking things from us so that they can fatten up their paychecks. You know how much money these public employees make? A lot of them are making 6 figures a year. How many people just living normal lives are making 6 figures a year? Librarians making 6 figures a year for working 40 hours a week. Isn't that crazy? To stack books and check out books. Is it really that hard a job? Go online, the internet, Google, AI. What? Do we really need libraries? I like the libraries. I like the buildings, kind of cool. But with computers, search engines, AI, internet, if you go into the public libraries, the shelves are mostly halfway, at least empty, because the public libraries are paying for digital information, and most people are using digital information from the public libraries. Do we really need all these buildings, or couldn't the county just provide public libraries online? But that'd probably save a whole lot of money, wouldn't it? Save a lot of employee costs. You can still get all the information for free from the public library system. Just do it online. Don't even have to go into the building. Maybe that's an idea to save some money. But keep more money in the taxpayer's pocket instead of putting it in some crazy librarian's pocket that lies about you. Mr. Rebar shall remove any and all references to Lindsay Liddell, DDA, Lindsay, etc. on any social media account that he operates, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok. Yep, like I said, they don't want their names out there. Lindsay Liddell, she don't want her name out there. Say it again, Lindsay Liddell. The restraining order should remain in effect during the pendency of this case, including through any appeals Rebar may file. So they want to keep it locked up for years on end. Years on end. Plaintiff Drew Rebar's escalating harassment. Rebar operates a YouTube channel with now over 30,000 subscribers. Hey, everybody, I appreciate you watching my stuff. Like, subscribe, and again, comment. But most of all, download the video, share the video with everybody else. Share all of the library videos. Get the word out there. What the government's trying to do is shut us down. This is the government trying to shut me down, trying to shut you down so you don't have information. It ain't about me. It's about everybody else. It's about my kids. It's about your kids. Should they have freedom of speech as they get older? Do you want freedom of speech? If you don't want it, ignore it. They'll take it away. They'll shut you up. Look at what's going on in the United Kingdom and Europe right now. They're locking people up for this stuff. That's what they're trying to do in America now, is lock us up for our speech, lock us up for protesting our government, lock us up for petitioning our government, locking us up because we're mad because our tax dollars are being used in ways that we never thought they should be used. And a lot of times our representatives never voted to use them this way. That just some bureaucrat took the goddamn money and gave it to somebody they liked so that they could pad their pockets and feed their families at your expense. So 30,000 subscribers. Yep. Primarily posts videos of his activities, filming his antagonizing government employees. No, I'm doing public records requests. I'm finding out what's going on in government for clickbait reactions. So this is what the government thinks of the people that watch these videos and are interested in, not mainstream media. They think you're just clickbait. I ain't doing this for money. I've lost a whole lot more money doing this than I'll ever make doing this. My business was generating millions of dollars every year before the government started fucking with me. I had no desire to do this. If they just left me alone, I would have kept running a good business that did not have consumer complaints. Trying to help people. Some people think I hurt people because I impound some cars here and there. Well, you do got to take drunk drivers off the road. You got to clear accidents off the road. And people really shouldn't block other people's driveways. And you shouldn't leave crappy motorhomes and boats abandoned in parking lots that the government owns or on streets that screw up other people's lives. We should not be, our rights should not infringe on other people's rights. Unless you're in a public space, doing publicly legal things. So again, this is just the government trying to shut me down. In August 2025, Rebar posted a video attacking County Defendants Council Deputy District Attorney Lindsay Liddell. Want to see Attorney Liddell lie in a court document? Indeed, I did post that. Don't lie. I put it on video. So did I lie or did you lie? Another video of a campaign event for Washington County District Attorney Christopher Hicks, which Rebar attended and attempted to antagonize. Yeah, I went to a public event with Chris Hicks, the elected DA. Don't vote for that bastard. He's a piece of shit. He's part of what's wrong with Reno. He's part of what's wrong with Washoe County. He's part of what's wrong with the state of Nevada and the country. He's one of these DAs that doesn't do anything to the criminals. He doesn't do shit to the criminals, and he prosecutes people that are just living their lives and trying to make their families better. That's the kind of DA this Chris Hicks is. See, they don't like me because I'm posting about Chris Hicks, who's up for re-election. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to shut down my election campaign because they don't like the fact I'm talking about these people. Rebar attended and attempted to antagonize DA Hicks. I didn't antagonize him. I just asked him questions. In the video, he asked DA Hicks in front of one of your attorneys, Lindsay Liddell, and one of her documents to court. Yeah, I did that. Absolutely. I'm asking people questions. Shouldn't the district attorney that's elected should be able to answer the questions of the general population or media? If you want to be media, go be media and publish it like I do. We should all be able to ask an elected official that's running for a re-election, that's coming to a campaign event for himself so he can talk to people and they don't like the questions you ask. So yeah, there we go. Wow. Like I said, I've never read this before. Just opened it up. As defendant billed our center motion describes on September 6th, Rebar attempted to attend a private pride. It wasn't private. Remember, I just showed you where they use tax dollars to do it. And let's get into it. Our center is a 501c3 corporation, which means it's a nonprofit corporation. And they said they're taking donations. You had to pay a donation to get in. Now, is a donation a mandatory fee? Is it a quid pro quo? Or is a donation something that you give willingly and expect nothing and get nothing in return for it? Now, if you're charging a donation to get into a private event, is the event private? Now, they also left alleyways, multiple alleyways open to the public that come and go, and they got tax dollars for this event. So Lindsay Liddell, I'm sure you're probably watching this. I have fired, and Allison Curtis, that's the attorney for our center. I filed a complaint with the IRS because our center doesn't get to do tax-free political events and charge mandatory donations and violate federal law. You don't get to do that and then keep people out. You're acting as a public actor. You're acting as part of the government when you're doing that. You're making yourself a public actor, our center. And these attorneys just don't want to solve the problem. Come talk to me, resolve the issue. Let's solve the problem. Let's stop the political bullshit of excluding certain people you don't like. That's all this is about. Here we go. Okay, so apparently not. So since then, Rebar's harassment and inappropriate conduct substantially escalated. No, my questions escalated. Build Our Center's motion describes the many emails to defense counsel and others, the baseless demands and inappropriate behaviors. Rebar's behavior continues to escalate. September 10th, presumably using Nevada public records laws as a weapon. As a weapon? The laws are now a weapon. If you use a law to get information from the government, that is a weapon according to this district attorney that's funded with your tax dollars. On the other hand, if the government gives you a ticket, if the government gives you a citation, if the government takes your freedom away and throws you in prison, if the government gives you a death sentence and kills you, is the law a weapon, or is the law just how we're supposed to act in public and set parameters on our behavior to keep other people safe? And in public records case, isn't the law just designed so that the public can find out what our government's doing, so people like me can get the information out to other people and you guys can make decisions as to what you want in your government and vote? By the way, everybody, get out and vote in this next election. It's going to be really, really important. I know no president's running, no Trump is running. God bless President Trump. Thank God the Democrats didn't win, because all these people here, these are all Democrats. All these people that are trying to take away our freedoms seemingly are Democrats. Now, I don't totally agree with all Trump stuff. Burning flags, I think you should go burn a flag if you want to. But on the other hand, they made it a safety issue and said you can't start a fire in a public place. Well, the government can regulate where the fires are, because fire's pretty bad. Fire catches a forest on fire. Fire catches a car on fire. It's a time, place, and manner. I think that's that manner restriction that's getting you with burning the flags. Got to be safe if you're using fire in a public space, because, well, our tax dollars really need to go fund good police and good fire and good roads, and that's where our tax dollars need to be paid. So free speech, but got to do it safe. Can't threaten other people. What else we got in here? Baseless demands, Rebar's behavior. The Nevada public records laws as a weapon. Rebar submitted frivolous public records request. Frivolous. Trying to find out who these people are. They're banning me. I guess that's frivolous now, according to these attorneys. Rebar is well aware of this law, including that it requires any public employee recipient to respond within 5 business days. Yes, I'm aware, because that's what the law said. I read the law. Whether they have control or custody of the requested records, NRS 239-0107. Yep. I think that's the one that says I can give the request orally. So the legislature and the governor signed off saying that I can go into a place, public space, that holds public records and orally request public records during their normal business hours. Peacefully, not yelling at nobody. But the government employees don't know the law, so they don't want to follow the law. In submitting requests for records which he presumably knows are not in undersigned counsel's custody, he inappropriately consumed undersigned counsel's time and resource in requiring her to respond and inform him of what he presumably already knew. No, I don't presumably already know what you know. I presume that if I'm sharing all the things that I'm doing in this case, asking for public records, getting you the public records, that we'll have the same information, and hopefully we can resolve the case much sooner than wasting the court's time, unless the county government wants to waste the court's time. But, government feeds on government, wasting more and more tax dollars. Let's keep reading. This is just nuts. This is just bad. Frivolous Pop. On September 16th, Rebar posted a video of his harassing contact with a Build Our Center volunteer, Yvonne Allen. Well, Yvonne Allen, like I showed everybody with Ms. Allen. Let's go back to her picture. Ms. Allen is a government employee. She's a vice president. And I went to her office where I presume her records are kept because it's her office. And I wanted her public records from her job. How is this harassing? When I watched the video, I posted the video. I'm very polite, I asked questions she didn't like, though. They want to shut down the questions they don't like. Like, why do you as a government employee get to infringe on my rights? Same thing they're doing right here. Same thing they're doing right here. Is this the right one? There we go. Back to that, I think. Okay. So yeah, they say that I'm harassing. Even more alarming, Rebar then guided his viewers to the relationship section of Ms. Allen's personal account. Again, don't put your shit online unless you want people to see it. If you made it public, that's not my problem. It is my problem when you keep me in a public event. Ms. Allen's fiance personal Facebook page account. Yeah, Ms. Allen's fiance is part of Build Our Center that's keeping me out of these public events. It's collecting your tax dollars. So why can't I share where your tax dollars are going and who's benefiting from them? I guess we're just supposed to keep all this information secret from the public so that they can keep stealing your money and keep making themselves richer and richer while you and your children can't buy a house. Can't buy a house. That's on you, but all these government assholes, they can. Yeah, there's a gal named Dana Searcy. She just got fired or whatever from Washoe County. She ran the CARES campus, the homeless camp. And she was making $250,000 a year, I guess, for running a homeless camp. $250,000 a year is what some of these people are making. How many of you people watching these videos are making $250,000 a year with full health, retirement, all of that other stuff? You're set for life once you get one of these government jobs. It's no reason they want to protect them so much. $250,000 a year to run a homeless camp. Oh, Washoe County needs a new homeless person. Go apply if you want that job. This is just frustrating. I'm going to have fun responding to this thing. Viewers relationship instant. He then announced and displayed the full name and workplace of Ms. Let's see who the full name and workplace of in this thing is. Allen's fiance. Well, don't post it online again. If you want to see my stuff, go online and go look at it. Hey, if you people watching these videos post where you work, post what you do, and you make it public, and you piss somebody off, don't be surprised if they might find out where you work or what you do, and they might want to call your boss. I've had lots of people call my company about my employees that they don't like, that my employees did something wrong. Do the right thing in our society, because again, we all have free speech. Free speech. We get to complain about each other. We get to make grievances about each other. We get to have discourse with each other. We get to solve the problems with each other. Again, I wish Washoe County would just solve the problem and discuss it with me and make it so that you weren't banning me from things for years on end for my political speech. And around midnight, early into September 17th, Rebar emailed undersigned counsel and employer of Build Our Center's counsel with subject line, "Do not lie to me." Yes, I told them not to lie because I've caught them lying. Ms. Liddell, you said I was using a big old tripod when I was doing my library videos. That's not factual. And if you look at my videos, you'll see I was holding a little gimbal and a camera, not a big old bulky tripod the way you described it to the court. Why do these lawyers need to lie to the courts? Just crazy. Yeah, so Lindsay Liddell, you're a liar. Don't lie to the courts. Don't make shit up. And you won't have these issues with me, because you won't give me any ammunition to make a video. You won't give me anything to share if you're doing your job right. If you're doing your job wrong and you're lying, you're going to give people ammunition to show that you're a fucking liar. See, there I cussed again. You like that, Ms. Liddell? Too bad. Free speech. When handing it to the appointed LBOT trustees, yep. Oh, good. Here, I did indeed call Marie Rodriguez a fucking communist. So Marie Rodriguez, if you go watch the other video with the German filmmakers when I went to the Library Board of Trustees meeting, Marie Rodriguez, I also posted the email that she sent to Sheriff Balaam where she wanted to have certain Republicans arrested for their speech. So I think that's kind of communistic of her. And I did use an exclamatory word to really drive my point home, that she's a communist. My belief. Sue me for libel if you believe I'm wrong. You're the one that wrote the email to the sheriff of Washoe County trying to get me arrested, trying to get multiple other people arrested because you didn't like our speech. So yeah, these are the people we've got in government. All these people are government employees. See the commonality here? All of these people are government employees involved with this Hour Center thing, using our tax dollars so that they can have their little private parties. Shortly after, Rebar sarcastically announced, I might be a little angry. Nah, I am a little angry. Yeah, I'm a little angry. During the initial public comment period, Rebar refused to comply with the LBOT's rules of decorum. The LBOT doesn't get to make rules about speech. The Nevada Constitution prohibits making any law to abridge my speech. And here the Library Board of Trustees are making rules that say that I cannot face a certain direction and I can't say certain words or they're going to shut me down. Well, that's bullshit. It's my time, my 3 minutes. I'm in public comment, in the public library, in the public meeting, in my manner. You don't get to restrict it. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just commenting to the public about what's going on in our government. But our government doesn't want that shared. Forced the meeting to briefly recess while Rebar was verbally combated with the LBOT. Yeah. I'm allowed to be verbally combative, just like I'm kind of being verbally combative right now. I get to say words I like, and you might not like the words. If you don't like the words, tune out, phase out, whatever. I'm liking my words. The left are extremely violent, is what I said. Yeah. The left murdered Charlie Kirk. The left shot at ICE agents and killed some of their detainees. The left is killing people with guns. The left wants to take your guns away from you, or they might kill you. I think the left is dangerous right now. I think that's a problem. And I think everybody should have the right to defend their home. They should be able to go hunting. They should be able to peacefully exist with their weapons that they use to defend themselves. Pretty simple. It's all about the Constitution, and it's all about personal liberties and personal rights. If you want to have a gun, you should have a gun. If I want to have a gun, I should be able to have a gun or a knife or whatever other weapon. Whip. It's interesting. The city of Reno's banned whips in the city of Reno. So they've banned an arm, because whips are arms, and you can't have whips in Reno because people walk around snapping them. People don't like that, I guess. So we've got a really leftist government in Washoe County that wants to ban things. The city of Reno wants to ban things, violate the Constitution, not even think about it. And then they make the citizenry pay all this money, waste this time to defend the Constitution that all these assholes that have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, defend the Constitution, want to just ignore. So now you and I, normal people, have to fight for our constitutional rights because the people that we put into power violate the Constitution. This is just so friggin' crazy. Appear to encourage rebar or others to deploy physical violence in addition to harassment towards those involved in the case or visiting the library. When did I ever say anybody should commit any violence? Do it peacefully. Take a camera out. They're more scared of the camera than they are the guns. Literally. Literally. Also, during September 17th, 2025, LBOT meeting rebar harassed members of the public. 2 young people who are, to defendant's knowledge, unaffiliated with any defendant in this case, were in the crowd filming the meeting and rebar for a movie. Yeah, the German filmmakers. They spoke with thick German accents. You think that they were pretending to have thick German accents because they were implying I was a Nazi fascist? You know, that's what the left does. They call us Nazi fascists. Are you a Nazi fascist like I am? I've been accused of it. I'm pretty toxically white, too. I think I've been called garbage by Biden. I think he called all of us garbage. Hillary called us all deplorable. So, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty deplorable, garbage, toxically white, male, fascist, German, Nazi. And we got German leftists coming in and putting a camera inches sitting right behind me. They almost knocked my camera over during the meeting. And then they get upset because when I asked them if they were involved in the ban, they said yes. And now I want to find out who you are if you're part of the banning. Probably bring you before the court too. You should answer those questions under oath. Were you involved? It's real simple. Yep, I followed them outside, attempted to follow them to their vehicle. I did indeed because I wanted to get their license plate and figure out who they were because they said they banned me. I admit that. Yep, I'm going to get your license plate. Escalate. How is me getting public information in a public space escalating aggression towards members of the public at the library? So they can do things to me, but I cannot gather any information on them. I get it. That sounds cool. What a fucked up world we live in. September 19th, 2025, Rebar posted video of his visit to the workplace, University of Nevada. Dr. Alan Ratliff, a Build Our Center board member. Yes, he's a board member. Let me see. Should we pull up Dr. Allen's information? Let's share some Dr. Allen's information since we're talking about him now. Where do we got Dr. Allen? Let's put a picture of Dr. Allen up here for a minute. I'll put this one up while I look for another one here. There's Dr. Ratliff. Let's see, what do we got here, Mr. Dr. Alan Ratliff? Where'd your other video stuff? Where'd your other pictures go? Give me a second. I just got so many pictures here. Ah, there we go. There's Dr. Alan Ratliff. It looks like he's a public employee getting paid with our tax dollars again. So there's Dr. Alan Ratliff. So he's a public employee for the University of Nevada, Reno School of Social Work. He's a PhD, MSW, LCSW, and he's licensed. And let's see, where else does Mr. Dr. Alan Ratliff? Let's find another picture of him here. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Dr. Alan Ratliff is a board member. So he's on the board of the LGBTQ organization, the nonprofit 501c3 that's collecting tax dollars. It's creating a banned list for political candidates. Let me see if I can share something else here. Let me see what I can find. Bear with me for a second. Thanks for watching. Do all that like, hit subscribe, all that garbage there for me if you would. I don't really mean garbage. I'm just trying to use a figure of speech. Let's see here. And let's just type in, is a nonprofit allowed to interfere in a political, because remember, I've said I'm running for office. Well, I've done this for the last couple of years now. I've never stopped running for office here. So let's see if I can share this screen here. And I pulled up this information. If you want to pull it up at home and double check me or go find the exact regulations, let's do that. We'll share screen here, this screen right there, this screen right there, and window. Is it the right one? I don't think that's the right one. Let's do this one here. Okay. There we go. Let's put that whole thing up there. So it says, nonprofit organizations in the United States are generally not allowed to interfere in a political campaign, but the rules differ significantly based on the nonprofit's tax-exempt status. The most common types of nonprofits are 501c3s. Charitable organizations and 501c4 social welfare organizations, each with distinct limitations on political activity. I believe we'll check this in a second. Prohibited actions. They're absolutely barred from any political campaign for or against a candidate for public office. They can't endorse or oppose. You can't oppose me. You can't endorse me, but you opposed me. You can't make contributions. And you can't publish or distribute statements for or against a candidate. Publish or distribute. Did that just say distribute? I hadn't read that one before. Everybody's a Republican here, our center. So anyways, what they did, it's a federal crime. Exempt status. If you want them to lose their tax exempt status, write the IRS. Let the IRS know, hey, this 501c3, well, let's double check this here real quick. Let me pull this back up here. Let's make sure that what I'm saying is right, because I don't want to be saying the wrong thing here. Get that one right. And let's see, let's move this, remove that there, and then plug this back up there so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see what IA has. Don't you love IA? Is Build Our Center, Inc. a nonprofit? And what type of nonprofit, if they are? Let's see what this has to say here. Okay, yes, Build Our Center Incorporated, also known as Our Center, is a nonprofit organization designated as a 501c3 with NTEE category of Civil Rights Association. Are they allowed to interfere in my political campaign? Let's add that question there. Yep, back, no candidate endorsements, back to the same information that I already had. So, I don't know, do your own research if you don't think my research is right, but nonprofit involved in a political campaign, collecting your tax dollars, non-governmental organization, that's what these people are. Non-governmental organization using your tax dollars to do what they want to do and exclude who they want to exclude and push their own political agenda. All while paying no taxes. Congratulations. I don't know which one's better for you guys to read, but let's keep going back through this one here now. Okay, what do we got here? Yep, went and saw Dr. Alan Ratliff, furthering his unsettling behavior despite Build Our Center's motion filed Thursday, September, outlining safety concerns, harassment from rebars, continue to post defamatory content regarding their counsel. If my content is not correct, file a lawsuit for libel against me. Sue me for libel if I'm lying. Everything I post, I try to post with, it's not my opinion, try to post the facts so everybody can see the facts. Mainstream media has been lying to us for far too long, posting bullshit opinions without showing us the real writing. And that's all this is about, is how do I prove what I'm saying to y'all? Safety concern harassment, rebar continued founder report content regarding our council. See Exhibit 10 YouTube video. They're probably gonna, hopefully they're watching this one too. Hey guys. Hey Ms. Curtis. YouTube centered on attacking Ms. Curtis. Lying attorney caught red-handed. Yep, I caught you red-handed, didn't I? Because you had your employees file affidavits with the court saying that I was somewhere that I never was to give yourself an advantage with the court. You're trying to make me look like a stalker. I don't stalk anybody. If I'm going to be there, I'm going to be right in your face. You're going to know I've got a camera, and you're going to know I'm there. I'm not going to drive by your place of business. I don't give a shit. I got enough stuff to do. I'm not going to stand outside your office talking on the phone. I'm going to walk into your office with a camera, serve you your papers, and walk the hell out. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see, what do we got here next? Okay, page 8. We're going slow here, guys, but we're getting there. Rebar posted the video to X Twitter, engaged in a dispute with a Nevada journalist, stating, check out lying Allison Curtis, with a link to his video. Yeah, I posted this to other journalists' pages so they could see what's going on. Like counsel for Build Our Center, Rebar's recent behavior has caused significant stress and unnecessarily consumed her time. Me bringing forward new allegations that your client is fucking up and violating civil rights is a waste of your time. Tell your client not to screw up anymore. Leave me alone. Don't exclude me from public. Undersigned counsel has taken precaution to avoid Rebar's harassment, including not attending events or visiting library branches where Rebar may be present. I've got a camera with me. I don't care if you're there. I just went to an event. Like I said, I went to an event last night. I'm suing Carson City. I'm suing the state of Nevada. That's Rebar versus Carson City, state of Nevada, et al. And one of the people I'm suing in that is Sheriff Kenny Furlong of Carson City. I was at an event with me. Kenny came down and sat right next to me, and we had a really good conversation. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it. We didn't, for his attorney, Catherine Parks, we didn't talk about anything with regards to the lawsuit. We just had good conversation. Come talk to me. I'm not a bad person to talk to. Unless you don't like debate, unless you'd much rather kill people or lie about them. Seems to me, sorry, I'm just stuck on the Charlie Kirk thing. It made me really sad. But lying about people, you can destroy them that way too, and I'm not going to let you lie about me. I'm not going to let you lie about me. That's why I document everything. Best legal advice I ever paid for was from a guy named Ken Brewy. He's an attorney up in Everett, Washington. Back in 2003, I was paying him, I think, $500-600 an hour. He was a very expensive attorney back then. Now he's probably even more expensive. But the best advice he ever gave me was document everything. So one thing about my personal life is I had a very long, contentious custody battle where mom didn't want me to be a dad. Spent 15 years in family court. 15 years of documenting everything taught me how to do this. At the end of the family court thing, I won custody of my kids, and my greatest accomplishment in life is my kids love their father and they love their mother both now as adults. But the best advice I can give to anybody is document everything. That way nobody can ever lie about you, because the hardest thing to disprove is a lie unless you've documented your own actions. And if you've documented your own actions and somebody tells a lie about you, you can pull out the video, you can pull out the GPS tracking, you can pull out the computer history, you can pull everything out, and you can prove what you did, where you were at. Save your receipts when you go to Walmart, wherever you shop, Costco, Winco. Save your receipts because they prove where you were, what you were doing, your bank statements. Everything proves what you were doing. So protect yourself. That's what I've done for many years. And that's the problem these people will have with me, is I'm going to prove everything that they've said that's a lie. And every time they try to manipulate the truth, bullshit. Here comes the video recording. Here comes the document. Here comes the GPS. And if you say something that is contrary to what those are, you better prove how my documentation is wrong. And you better provide documentation of what you said is right, not just somebody's bullshit statement written in an attorney's office by the attorney's employees to give them an advantage in court against a pro se litigant that's doing everything himself, that's up against this huge monolith of government bureaucrats, monolith of government attorneys, and private attorneys that are working pro bono, so they say, for this non-governmental organization collecting your money and your tax dollars and using it for their own political agenda instead of helping your children buy houses. Or if you're a young person, instead of helping you get into a house, keeping all the shit expensive and life harder for the average working person. That's what the fuck they are doing. Sorry for cussing. I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm a little upset. Just a little upset tonight. Okay, rebar has shown no regard for professional setting that litigation mandates. Professional setting. Professional is not lying. And if you don't like my words, too bad. Okay, now here's their legal argument. Okay, that was their bullshit argument. Here's their legal argument. Courts may issue an injunction over conduct that is directly related to the lawsuit. They want me to stop gathering information for the lawsuit. That's what they're trying to do. Stop me from gathering the information. Stop me from communicating my political campaign to the people that may or may not vote for me. Whether you vote for me or not, at least you got the information. Half the time you don't get the information from the government. I went and filed a public records request at the University of Nevada, Reno. And guess what? They still haven't contacted me, and they've broken the law. They haven't gotten back to me, and they won't give me the information. So they're just trying to cover up for themselves breaking the law, and they say that I'm using the law as a weapon. And again, these people don't follow the law. They break the law, and then they use the law against you and I to screw up our lives. Bit of double standards here with the people getting paid with your tax dollars. There is a strong precedent establishing the inherent power of federal courts to regulate activities of abusive litigants by imposing carefully tailored restrictions. Yeah, she wants me to stay 600 feet away from everybody that's within our center, and I got no idea who these people are. They follow me to library meetings and video record me specifically as opposed to just video recording the meeting. They get up making little camera signals. Go watch the video. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Whatever rights a litigant may have to publicly criticize defendant's counsel in the court is subordinate to the public's interest in judiciary's ability to make decisions without fear of harassing and defamatory reprisals, as well as the defendant's interest in preserving their counsel from plaintiff's harassment. Harassing speech is not protected speech. I'm not harassing anybody. I'm publishing public information. The public has a right to know what's going on in their court systems. The public has a right to know what's going on with their tax dollars. The public has a right to know what's going on with their publicly paid employees, who all of these people seem to be. I'm not chasing after private individuals. I'm not going to private workplaces. I'm staying in the public realm where you're subject to these public records requests. Rebar is engaged in, let me change the page here. I'm ahead of you a little bit. Rebar is engaged in an inappropriate conduct designed to harass counsel and defendants, and a restraining order is appropriate to protect the parties, counsel, and witnesses. There is a documented, continuous, and escalating pattern of Rebar's litigation, adjacent harassment, and intimidation. Rebar has turned to personalized attacks of counsel. I wouldn't personally attack you if you didn't lie about me. It's not a personal attack. It's calling you out for a lie. Stop lying. I even sent you an email. You admitted it in this document. Stop lying about me. If you don't lie about me, there ain't nothing for me to say. Nothing to say. This behavior is entirely inappropriate and interferes with the library's ability to conduct its business and for public safety and securely participate in LBOT's public meetings. So they don't want me to go to public meetings anymore either. Rebar continued to use instant case as a launch pad for his monetized YouTube. Yep, YouTube pays me. Just like CNN gets paid, ABC gets paid, MSNBC gets paid. It costs money to go out and do this stuff. It takes my time to go out and do this stuff. It takes money, and I've spent far more money and time than I've ever made in the few $100s a month that I may be making on YouTube. I ain't making a whole lot of dough. So thank you for the dough that I'm making. I appreciate everybody that does the thanks and all that stuff. I really do appreciate that, because this takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. Like right now, I'm sitting here making a video when I could be out there hanging out, doing my family thing. Instead, I'm in here doing a video talking to all of you. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I never thought people would watch my stuff. It was just an accident when I posted the first thing the government did to me. And people watched, and here we are. Any interest Rebar may have in his disruptive, harassing, threatening behavior is heavily outweighed by the defendant's counsel's interest in avoiding harassment. You won't get harassed if you don't break laws and you don't lie. Nobody will harass you. Likewise, there is a public interest in the library's ability to carry out the service community see at large. So they're saying that I'm interfering with the library operations by going to public meetings, saying public things. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Rebar exhibits a pattern of abuse. You guys have watched my videos. Let me know in the comments. Have I been abusive to people, or am I generally? I try to be really polite, try to be professional, try to just talk in a very calm voice, tell people what the rules are, and expect them to follow the rules. Oh, you arrest me, I won't fight you. You kick me out somewhere, I won't fight you. I might use questions, use dialogue, try to solve the problem. As Rebar exhibits a pattern of abuse to gain power and control over his victims, including testing boundaries with physical confrontations. Where have I ever had a physical confrontation? Using his platform and followers as a force multiplier. Isn't the point of a free press in the United States of America so that you and I, whether it was back in the 1776, can go get a printing press or write with our quill and go put messages up in the public square and get the public to want to change things? Free press. Today we've got the internet, we've got YouTube, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got X, we've got blah, blah, blah. That's our free press today. That's the way we as the people can communicate. And they want to shut it down. Just like they're Great Britain. The government wants to shut. Remember, these are the government actors that don't want me as a private individual to get the word out to you, the people, from the information that I get. Physical confrontations, using his platforms and followers as a force multiplier. So everybody that's following me, thank you. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for all the stuff. I really do appreciate it. Engaging in reputational coercion to disenchant counsel and pressure a favorable outcome. Asserting dominance through public displays and antagonism. I'm just reading her words. These are her words, not my words. I don't know where I've ever tried to be aggressive and assert dominance, other than I show up in public places with a camera and I don't leave when you tell me to leave and try to violate my constitutional rights. Reversing the victim offender role. Isn't that exactly what they're doing right here? Reversing the victim. Oh, wrong pager. Reversing the victim offender role. They victimized me by trying to. This is exactly what they do. Exactly what they do. Let's go to page 10. Not to resolve disputes or gain records, but to extract leverage. I'm trying to gain records. They won't give them to me. Leverage over his victims. Yeah, I want some leverage over the defendants, not victims, defendants. This woman is crazy. See how she changes the words around to fuck with the judge? Now all of a sudden, the people that close the public libraries to the public, close the public streets to the public, they're the victims. And I'm the aggressor. I'm the guy that got kicked out. But I'm the aggressor because I tried to go into public places. This behavior, she says, should not be tolerated. Defendants should not have to wait until Rebar's behavior escalates into more unwanted confrontations, more personal attacks, or invasions of privacy, doxing from his followers. I'm not doxing anybody. I'm just putting up public records. If you don't like your information on the internet, don't make it private. Don't make it public. And as far as government employees, your information as a government employee, your government email is public information, subject to public records requests. We can go get all the emails you've ever sent from that email address. The email address itself is public. The emails are public. The communications are public. The problem is they won't give them to me because they know there's proof in those records of what they're doing. And that's screwing the public. Rebar already has a documented history of violating boundaries, such as when he pulled open a door. Oh, she just lied again. If you haven't seen the video, so Lindsay Liddell, you're a fucking liar. The video clearly shows the librarian, Wynn, whatever her name is, a little Asian gal, pulling the door 3 times against my body. The reflection in the glass in the video off the mirror shows me holding a video camera and my other hand down at my side. My foot, I was trying to walk through an open door and she slams me in there. So she just lied to the judge right there again. He has a history of verbal aggression and inciting confrontations with government employees. Asking government employees is inciting confrontation now. Don't you dare question your government. Stop it. Those government employees need to keep getting their paychecks. You can't afford your house. Your kids can't afford their house. But those government employees, you better not ask them any questions, or that's inciting confrontations. Now Rebar is going to involve parties' workplaces. She keeps repeating that. Yes, I am. I'm going to public places to get public records, displaying information regarding an unrelated fiance's name. No, she's related. She was a vice president or something on the board of Build Our Center and workplace. And here they are. This is the interesting thing. The county is using the Our Center employees or volunteers or whatever the hell they are for their reason that I should be restrained from the county. Shouldn't it be because of the county stuff that I'm being restrained if they get the restraining order? And I don't know. Is the government going to restrain me? Probably. The government always backs the government. Using obscenity to trigger an LBOT trustee and aggressively asserting he is a little angry. Yeah. Ask yourself, would you be angry if you were me? If you went to go to a public event and you were kicked out just because of who you were, not because of your actions, just because you're a political candidate, and because you started recording the government and you want to make change in the government so everybody, LGBTQ, people of any race, gender, nationality, whatever, I don't care, everybody has equality in the United States of America. Not equity, equality. We've all got the same opportunities to go to the same places, see the same things, and live our lives. Equality would be a great thing, wouldn't it? We don't have that in America anymore. This thing here really proves it. Using obscenity, a little angry, whereas moreover, Rebar's newly expressed beliefs are alarming, including the potentially paranoid delusion that he is. I'm paranoid delusional now. I guess she must be a psychologist. She got her doctorate degree. She must have seen Dr. Alan Ratliff and had him diagnose me or some bullshit like that. Huh, I wonder, is that practicing medicine without, is there a crime there that she's committing? Other than lying to the court. Oh, paranoid delusion that he is on some kind of hit list. Well, I showed everybody the hit list. Let's just Get back to that. I didn't make the list. And that people are killing some conservatives. There is a real and articulable risk that Rebar will use this persecution narrative as justification in his mind for increased stalking, unwanted contacts, and possibly physical violence. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm more worried about me being hurt by these radicals. I just want to be left alone. I want public records. I want to prove what's going on. I want to use my camera non-violently. I want to stand there with this inanimate object that does nothing other than sits there. And you don't like it because I'm going to take it home and download the information on it and share it with people like you guys. Thanks for watching again. The court should enter a carefully tailored protection order to address specific threats posed by Rebar, yada, yada, yada. County District Attorney's Office, except when attending in-person hearings for this case. He should be restrained from physically entering county defendants, counsel, staff, parking lot, which has an entrance gate but does not have a secure perimeter. If Rebar attends any LBOT meetings, he should not be permitted to harass, threaten, intimidate, or follow any person before, during, or after the meeting. So I can't walk in public spaces where other people are walking. They can follow me. I can't follow them. They can get information on me. I can't get information on them. Likewise, if during a meeting a trustee ejects Rebar for behavior that disrupts the forum, Rebar shall be required to immediately remove himself from the premises. So now Library Board of Trustees can violate my constitutional rights, restrict me from saying what I want to say because they don't like my words. They don't like the content of my speech. He should likewise be required to remove any reference to, there she goes again, she really hates that I put her stuff on the internet. To ensure the fair administration of justice in this case, any restraining order should remain in effect during the pendency of this case, including through any appeals Rebar may file. Let's see what else we've got here in the last page. This case is not a platform for Rebar's power and control. No, this case is about me sharing information with the public and how the government abuses people. And this case is about, do we want to make change in our government? This case is about our elections. Do you want the same people to be doing the same things that they've been doing for decades, enriching themselves at the cost of the majority of we the people that wake up every day, go to work, do our jobs, take care of our families, and try to make a better life? They want to get rid of the American dream. That's how it seems to me. That's how it seems to me. So, yeah. Yeah. He hasn't worked there very long and he's on a medical leave. Your tax dollars at work again, paying people not to go to work on the government dole. Anyways, I think that's all I got in me for tonight. That's 2 hours of talking straight, 2 hours of reading. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. That's my story so far. I've got a lot more. I've got many, many more pages of information I'm going to share with you. I'm just going to scan through them here real quick. So if you guys want to stop and pause on each one of these, you can read all of their exhibits too. I haven't read them yet. Oh, there's a picture of that. There's a picture of that. Exhibit 2. There's a picture of that. Yep. Picture of that. So these are all their exhibits that they're using to prove that I'm a danger, I guess. I won't bore you with reading them all. Oops, did I get you that one far enough right there? That's exhibit 6, I guess. Yep. Oh, there's, hey, if you want to see the letter about that trustee Rodriguez wrote to Sheriff Balaam to have some people locked up in jail. It's on that video right there. That was a picture of it. There's people in the parking lot. There's the dean of the School of Social Work Shouldn't she know her job and how to do her job in public records, since she's a dean of a school and she's in control of all those public records? Exhibit 10, Attorney Allison Curtis lies. Yeah, she lied right there. I caught her. The police sergeant mentioned her name. I asked her for the information. She gave it to the police. Yep, there's her information. Okay, I'm just sharing public records, everybody. All these court records are public by definition. Oh, there's Steve Sebelius. I quoted him some stuff. They're watching all my social media. Deputy District Attorney. Yeah, I got to take some time to read these. Like I said, I haven't read any of this stuff, so you guys are seeing it when I saw it. Go through it and read it yourself. Put it back in the comments what you think, and I'm going to sign off for now. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Drew Rebar, auditing Reno 911, candidate for Nevada Assembly District 40. So if you live in Story County, Carson City, or Southeast Washoe County, you can vote for me or you can vote against me. Have a great day.